Good morning, children. So, we were saying about the growing crops. We were studying about the lesson growing crops. So, you learned that from the seeds, plants can be grown. So, whatever plants we grow in our house, it will be in the lesser quantity. Cannot grow in the larger quantity. Is it not? So, in order to have it for a large scale, you cannot grow it in a small area, so it should be grown on the large area and in a larger quantity. So place where it is grown is called field, and the plant which is grown there is called as crop. And the practice of growing it on a large scale for food and other purposes is called as agriculture. Okay, so agriculture is the practice of growing plants on a large scale for food or other purposes. So growing plants on a large scale to satisfy for the large quantity, or in order to get the large quantity, large scale, so we grow more plants. So that practice is called as agriculture, and the plant is called as crop. So crop means any plant that is grown on a large scale, to get food and other useful things. Okay, so don't get confused between the crop and agriculture. So the practice what we grow is called as agriculture, and the plant what it is grown is called as crop. Understood the difference between agriculture and the crop? So in order to satisfy for a larger scale, in order to supply it on a large scale, it should be grown in large numbers. So that plant are called as crop, and the practice of growing is called as agriculture. Understood the definition of both agriculture and crop? Okay, yes. Next is depending upon what purpose it serves. The crops are classified into three types. Okay. So depending on what we get from that, for what purpose it is grown, crops are classified into three types. Okay. The one from which we get the food, like wheat, rice, ragi, maize. The name only says. So for what purpose it is used? It is used for food. So such crops are called as food crops. So the crops on the purpose, on the basis of what purpose we use, it is classified into three. So the first one is food crops. The name only says, it is given according to the names only. So it is food crops. Okay. So example you can give wheat, ragi, rice. So which we have it in the form of food. So they are called as food crops. That is the first group, food crops. Okay. Second one, from the seeds, we crush those seeds and get oil from that. So they are called as oil producing crops. Oil producing crops. Okay. They are called oil producing crops. So what are the examples for this? Sunflower oil we get, and mustard. So mustard oil we get. Okay. So that is called as oil producing crops. Got it? Yes. Next one, we get fiber from that. Okay. They are called fiber crop. They are called fiber crop. So example you can give jute, we make gunny bags, all those things, bags, and cotton. So from that thread we get cotton clothes, we make cotton clothes. So they are called fiber crops. Got it? So depending upon the purpose for what it is grown, so the crops are grouped into 3 types. Okay, first is food crops, that is from which we get the food, wheat, ragi, rice, and then next the seeds will be crushed and we get oil, we produce oil from that, so they are called as oil producing crops, sunflower, mustard. And then next is the fiber crop, the thread like structure what we get, and it can be used to make different things, so that is jute and cotton clothes we can make. Okay, these are the types of crops depending upon the purpose. Okay, next. Now I said the process of growing the crops is called as agriculture. Is it not? Yes. So for a farmer, in order to grow the crops, he has to follow some rules, or he has to take care. He has to maintain something, he has to follow some rules so that the yield whatever he gets will be of the good quality. Okay, so what practice he has to do, so those practices or the rules type method what he has to follow, so that the yield whatever he is getting will be of the good quality. So they are called as practices or rules, you can say, methods you can say. Okay, so we'll see what are those agricultural practices. Agricultural practices. Okay, so for a farmer, in order to get a good yield, he has to follow some methods, rules, techniques, so that he will get a good crop. So they are called as agricultural practices. Okay, so now one by one we'll see what are those agricultural practices. Okay, first one, know that the land is very hard, so simply if we put the seed into the soil, so it will not go inside or absorb the water, nutrients, whatever give to the seed. It is not going to absorb, and the plant also, if it is hard, it cannot grow properly. So first of all, what he has to do is he has to make the soil loose. It is hard, I said, so he has to make the soil loose. So earlier the farmers, they were using the animals, ox, with the help of the plow they were doing it. They were making the soil loose. Okay, but nowadays you have the technique, science has improved, so you have the machine tractors, like, so which is going to make the soil loose. You might have seen a tractor, one he will be driving it, at the back you have teeth like thing, so which will pull the soil or make the soil loose. Okay, so with the help of that plow or the vehicle tractor, he has to plow the soil or till the soil, that means make the soil loose. So that practice is called as plowing or tilling the soil. Tilling or plowing the soil. Plowing the soil. Okay, that is the first method he has to follow, first step he has to follow. So why he has to till the soil, or why he has to plow, why he has to make the soil loose? Because once the seed is sown into the soil, if it is loose, so the seed, if you put water or the sunlight or the air, it is going to absorb those nutrients easily. And when it starts growing, that is when the radical begins to grow, the root begins to grow. So the root also will go into the soil easily, will penetrate into the soil easily, will go into the soil easily. Okay, so if it is hard, then it has to struggle, so it will not be having space to get inside, and the plant may not grow properly. So that if it is the farmer has made the soil loose by plowing it, so once he sows the soil into the once he sows the seed into the soil, so the plant can grow easily. Okay, so that is the first step, tilling or plowing the soil. Clear? Okay. Now the second step. So after the soil is made loose, what he has to do? He has to apply fertilizers. So second step is applying fertilizers. Applying fertilizers. Okay, so what are these fertilizers, or why these fertilizers should be applied? Okay, so these fertilizers are nothing but gobra, we say, manure, or the cow dung, or the rotten part of the plants. Okay, so all these are fertilizers, manure. So why we have to put that to the field? Why he has to apply that fertilizers is because it acts like extra nutrient for that. Already the nutrients are present in the soil. So seed will absorb the nutrients in the soil, from the sunlight, from the water, everything. But these manure means it adds like extra additional nutrient for the seed, so that it will give good yield. Okay, so when the soil is tilled or plowed, so these fertilizers are going to mix in the soil easily, and the yield whatever we get will be of the good quality. Okay, so that is the second step, applying fertilizers. So already the nutrients are present in the soil. So this will add as extra boost, you can say, extra nutrient for the soil to grow still more. Okay. Next, after that, after applying the fertilizers, now the field is ready. So the farmer can sow the seed. So the next step is sowing seeds. The next step is sowing seeds. So this is very, very important, sowing seeds. Okay. Now you might have heard a proverb or the saying, say, as you sow, so you reap. So what kind you put, how your effort will be, so the result will be like that. So if your effort is hard, the result also whatever you get will be good. If you are not putting your effort properly, so you will not get good result. So here also the quality of the seeds, what kind of seeds you sow into the soil, so the yield whatever we get, the end result whatever it is there, so it will be good. So if the quality of the seed is poor, then the yield also will be poor. So while sowing the seeds, the farmer has to keep attention on the quality of the seeds. Quality of the seeds. Okay, so if the seed quality is good, so the yield at the end, whatever he get will be good quality. So if he is sowing low quality seed, then the yield also will be poor. He will not get good quality yield. Okay, so sowing seeds, that is only not important. Even the I said the quality of the seeds is important, and proper time. The time, proper time he has to sow the seeds. So you know that some plants grow well in particular kind of soil or particular kind of climate only. So plants like wheat, gram, all those things will grow in winter season, will grow well in winter season, and paddy, maize will grow well in summer season. That means for some crop it requires more heat, and for some it requires more water. Okay, so depending on the climate, so he has to sow the seeds. So for the rice or maize, if he sows in the winter season, then all the crop will rotten because of excess water, all will rotten. Or the wheat or the gram, if he sows in summer, for excess of heat, it will get dried up. So he has to have an idea what kind of plants will grow well in which kind of season. So while sowing the seeds, he has to see the season also. What crop he is planning suits for what type of season. So depending on that season, he has to sow the seeds. Okay. So depending on the seeds, whether it grows well in summer season, winter season, depending on the seeds, he has to sow the seeds at the proper time. Okay. And one more, at distant places. At distant places. So you have learned dispersal of seeds in the previous class. So why there is need for dispersal of seeds? So if it is put at the same place, then only those seeds which will get the right amount of air, water and sunlight will grow into new plant. There will be scarcity for space, air, water, sunlight, everything. So some of the seeds may die or it will go waste. So to avoid that, he has to sow the seeds at the distant places. He has to give some place so that when it is when it becomes into seedling, it changes into seedling, so it will have proper place to grow. So this is very, very important, sowing seeds. In that only he has to keep 3 points in mind. He has to see the quality of the seeds. And then at the proper time, depending on the season, at the proper time he has to sow particular seed, and then at the distant places. That means dispersal of seeds. Okay, so that all the seeds will get enough place and all will grow into healthy and he will get good yield. Okay, so this is the third point what he has to do. And fourth one, this is also one of the important practice what he has to follow. Okay, so while you studied the conditions necessary for germination of seeds, you studied that air, sunlight, is it not? And one more thing was water. Okay, so after he has sown the seeds, after he has applied the fertilizers, so watering the field is very, very important. So that process is called as irrigation. What is it called? Irrigation. So he has to irrigate the field. He has to irrigate the field so that the seeds, whatever is sown, will get the proper water. As you know that the outer covering of the seeds usually will be hard. So once it gets water only, it becomes soft and it is going to absorb the water and send it, and it helps in germination. So if proper amount of water is not supplied, then the seeds will not grow properly. So water is very, very important for the growth of the plants. So irrigation is a process by which sufficient water is given to the crops. So this irrigation or irrigating the field is very, very important, because one of the conditions for the seeds to germinate is water. So that is important. Okay, so after irrigation, even this step is more important than these steps. Okay, so till here the farmer has struggled so much. So he has plowed the field, he has brought the fertilizers, applied for that, and he has brought the good quality of seeds. He has sown, he has irrigated. Okay, so after irrigation, the seed coat will break out and the seeds will germinate. Germination will start and the crop is going to yield. Okay, so here this is the place where he has to be more careful, more precautions. Okay, that is crop protection. That is crop protection. He has to protect his crop. So once the seeds will start germinating, he has to protect his crops. From what he has to protect? From the pests, from the insects, from the weeds. All these things he has to protect. So what he has to do, how he has to take care so that his crop will be protected. Okay. Now these pests are the organisms which is going to destroy the crops or which is going to spread diseases among the crops. Okay. So these pests are organisms which is going to spread disease or it is going to kill the crops. It is going to spoil the crops. And then these insects also, it is going to feed on that, and it is like caterpillar, locusts, grasshoppers. So all these pests or the insects, it is going to feed on them, and it is going to destroy the crop, or it is going to spread the diseases. So from that he has to protect. Okay. And then these weeds, so weeds are nothing but unwanted plants. Okay, they are unwanted plants. Sorry, unwanted plants. Unwanted plants which grow in the field. Okay, they are the unwanted plants which grow in the field. So what happens if unwanted plants are there? It is going to hamper, or it is going to spoil. That unwanted plants only will grow in a larger quantity and will not allow the seeds what the farmer has sown to grow properly. Okay, so it is going to hamper the main crop what the farmer has to get yield. Okay, so these are unwanted plants. So how can the farmer protect his crop from all these things, from the pests, insects, weeds, all those things? So he can spray insecticides or pesticides. Okay, so I'll write it here. In order to protect from the insects or the pests, so he has to spray. He has a chemical which is called insecticides. Insecticides, pesticides. He has to spray. Okay, this he has to spray for his field, so that if any insects or the pests are going to cause damage or spread diseases, so those will be killed. So he has to spray insecticides or pesticides. Okay. And then weeds, as I said, it is the unwanted plants which grow in the field, I told you. So those unwanted plants, if it is in the early stage only, you can just pull it by the hand. Okay, or you can use a machine trowel. By that you can dig and pull out that one. Okay, so or you can spray weedicides. For that also, weedicides. So to kill those weeds, you can spray weedicides. You might have seen one tank like thing, pipe connected to that, and they will spray over the field. So insecticides, pesticides and weedicides, for the crop protection he has to take care. He has to spray so that his crop is protected from the insects, pests and weeds. Okay children? Yes. We'll move to the next point now, sixth one. And one more thing, in this only, crop protection only, in the early stages of germination, when the seedling starts growing, there are chances that the birds which fly, birds are there, so they can come and pluck those in the early stages, I said. So that is why you might have seen in some of the fields, you might have observed, when you go to the village, you might have observed, or in some movies or TVs, you might have observed, they keep in the straw there, or the grass, dry grass, they're going to make like the statue of a person and put a pot or the cap on his head and hold his hand, stretch his hand and make him keep that in that place. That is called a scarecrow. So when the birds see, so they think that the person is standing and they will not come and damage that. Okay, so scarecrow, by placing scarecrow in the field also, he can protect his seedlings. Okay, so after that, now he has protected his crop. Now the seed germination will start and he will get his yield. Okay, so once he get his yield, can he keep that yield in the field itself or in the plant itself? No, he has to cut that and take it. Is it not? So that step is called as harvesting. That step is called as harvesting. Okay, so harvesting is nothing but process of, this is The process of cutting and collecting the mature crop. The mature crop. Cutting and collecting the mature crop. So that process is called as harvesting. Got it? So once he gets the crop, he has to harvest. So he has to cut that from the plant, place it separate, and he has to collect all the grains and store it properly. Okay? So that process is called as harvesting. You might have seen in the villages, we say that Pongal as a harvest festival. So it is during that time, these farmers, they put all their crops, whatever they have grown, so they put in front of the god, they do puja for that, and then they sell it. So that is cutting and collecting. That is called as harvesting. So that is why that Pongal festival is called harvesting festival, because it is during that time they harvest. So they collect whatever the crop they have grown. So they have to collect and they have to cut and collect. So that is called as harvesting. Okay, and then once he collects or cuts and collects, is his duty over? No, still he has not completed his work. So these 6 steps he has to follow, I said. Next is also important only. So what are the first 6 agricultural steps he has to follow? First one is tilling the soil, so that the soil will become loose, so that the seeds will absorb the nutrients easily and the roots will go inside the soil quickly and easily. Second one, after tilling, he has to apply the fertilizer, so that it will be the extra nutrient for the soil. And then the third one, after that, sowing seeds. So sowing seeds at the proper time, proper quality of seeds, and at the distant places is very, very important. And then the condition for the growth of a seed, water. So he has to irrigate the field so that all the crops will get the proper quantity of water. So after that, the crop protection should be done. He has to protect his crop from the weeds, insects, pests, fungus, all those things. Okay. And then last, once the crop gets, when he has got his yield, so he has to cut and he has to collect the crop. That process is called as harvesting. Okay. Yes. So it is not his duty is over once he collects and keeps. So the storage, the place where he stores and how he stores, so that is also very, very important. The storage is also very, very important. Okay. So next point is storage. Storage is important. So how he has to take care of that? So once the crop is harvested, he has to protect his crop from the development of fungus or bacteria. So when this fungus and the bacteria develop, when there is moisture. So when the crop, whatever he has got, if it is not stored in a proper place, when it is exposed to air, when it is exposed to water, so some kind of organism will develop on that only, and it is going to start eating that. So they are called fungus or the bacteria. So when it is exposed to moisture, so development of fungus will start. So to avoid that, he has to see that he will not keep it in a wet place, or he will store properly, close it so that air will not enter into that. So if he does that, he can protect it from the fungus or the bacteria. And the place where I said it should be free from the pests, I said. So that is rats or the moles. So they come and eat. So he has to protect the place where he is keeping. It should be protected from the rats and moles also, so that he is going to save this crop. So it is not enough that only 6 agricultural practices if we follow and after harvesting his work is over. No, the storage is also very important. So once the crop is harvested, it should be free from the development of fungus and bacteria, and he should also protect it from the pests like rats or moles. Okay, so this is about the growing plants here. So what he can do in order to avoid this fungus or the insects, so he can use the neem. So it is bitter in taste, so it will avoid the formation of the fungus and the bacteria. Okay, so to keep the insects or the pests or even the fungus, to keep it away, we can keep the neem so that it will be under control. Okay, so this is about the lesson growing plants. So in this lesson you have studied the main thing, why we should grow plants. Okay, plant is very useful for us. So in our day-to-day life we depend mainly on plants, is it not? So we have to grow plants. Got it? So in this this completes the lesson. So the notes will be sent. You have to copy the notes in 192 pages, single line book. That is your science classwork, children. Write neatly without mistake. So I would have given the heading or the questions in the red pen, but you don't use red pen, only blue gel pen only. So write neatly without making mistake and clearly. And whenever it is said, bring it for correction. Okay? Yes. So in the last class, I had given assignment, the seed and the germination diagram, is it not? So that was your first assignment. There you can write it as homework number 1 and then draw this seed and the germination. I drew on the board that day and asked you to copy it in your book, saying that it will be given as homework, is it not? So that was your first homework. So today I am going to give the second homework, that is the keywords of lesson number 1 I am going to give you. So that you have to write it, okay, 5 times and practice the spellings, okay. So in your homework book, it should be homework 2 keywords. So this you have to write it 5 times each. Got it, children? Yes. So make a note in your rough notebook. Later you can write it in your, copy down in your homework. Okay. First word is P-E-T-A-L-S. Petals. Second, S-E-P-A-L-S. Sepals. Third, C-A-R-P-E-L, carpel. Fourth, S-T-A-M-E-N, stamen. Fifth, O-V-U-L-E, ovule. O-V-U-L-E, ovule. Sixth, P-O-L-L-E-N, pollen. G-R-A-I-N-S, grains, pollen grains. Seventh, A-N-T-H-E-R, anther. A-N-T-H-E-R, anther. Eighth, fertilizers, F-E-R-T-I-L-I-Z-E-R-S, fertilizers. Ninth, scattering, S-C-A-T-T-E-R-I-N-G, scattering. 10th, germination, germination, germination. So these are the 10 words which you have to do it as today's homework. Copy down, children, in your rough book for the time being. Afterwards, you can write it in your homework book. So as I said, handwriting should be neat. Don't use red pen anywhere. Only in the blue gel pen you have to read. You have to write. So how you have to write is each word, not write all the 10 words together. I want you to write each word 5 times. Now suppose you take the first word petals. So petals only it should be written 5 times. Like this. So each word should be written 5 times like this. After that, rule it, decide, go for the second word. Is it clear how to do the homework? So if it is not neat, I am going to ask you to rewrite it again, redo it again. So better write neatly 10 words 5 times. You can write it easily without mistake. After that, revise the spellings, read the spellings. Okay. So this is homework number 2. First, it is the keywords. First is petals, sepals, carpel, stamen, ovule, pollen grains, anther, fertilizers, scattering, germination. Is it clear, children? So this homework you have to write and you have to submit it whenever it is asked. And the notes also will be sent. Don't use red pen in your classwork. Use only blue gel pen. Again, I am repeating that. Got it? Okay. In the next class, we'll go for the next lesson. Until then, take care, children, and be revising this first lesson, whatever is been taught. Okay? Bye, children.